Kia ora, this is Arun Jacob, your friendly and frank licensed New Zealand immigration advisor, coming live once again from the beautiful city of Hamilton here in New Zealand. I was supposed to come live yesterday, which is my regular slot in my team's live sessions, but I happened to be in Auckland yesterday. And I went to Auckland along with my colleague, senior colleague Mary, who takes care of pretty much all the AGV affairs here in New Zealand. And yeah, and also she's also my fellow licensed immigration advisor. So she and I went on a pretty long trip to Auckland yesterday, and we had a few really good meetings. And that is the reason yours truly could not come live yesterday. And I think today it was advertised that my colleague Navya Sika, who is also a licensed immigration advisor, was going to come live, but unfortunately, she was a bit under the weather, so she decided she's going to probably take it a little easy. So, yeah, here I am stepping in for her because my wonderful colleagues also step in for me sometimes when I am either unwell or I have to be present elsewhere. So that's the way we guys in AJV work, supporting each other, backing each other. We are about 40 people now in the team, spread across New Zealand, India, Malaysia, Qatar, and UK. So, we are slowly but surely becoming this little multinational corporation. And hopefully, we will get to a point where we will become a large multinational and not this little baby multinational that we are at this point in time. Well, like they said, everybody started as a baby, and so did we. And that's what it's all about. I can see some of my colleagues have joined in. It's an incredibly warm day today, and I have this very hot light on me, which I, borrowed from our in-house filmmaker Nicholas, and he was kind enough to lend one of his very, he's quite possessive about his equipment, but I managed to, steal one light from him, so I have this light on my face. But it's been pretty warm here in New Zealand the last few days. We are having an incredibly hot summer. Um, Yes, I think a bit of the global warming or climate change is also kind of catching up with us, like the rest of the world, I guess. And only recently, I was reading somewhere that the temperatures are likely to keep going up and up everywhere in the world. But I think, thankfully, in New Zealand, because we are in that geographical location on the globe, that it may not affect us as dramatically as it's going to affect countries which are more near the equator. So yeah, that's the way I guess the world's going to play out, and I think because of the this the global climate change and the massive climate change that's happening, I do believe that migration is also going to increase quite dramatically in the world, and a lot of people would be wanting to. I think they will, going forward. Right now, by and large, most of the migration occurs for economic reasons or for humanitarian reasons. There's a war somewhere and people want to escape it and go somewhere else, and or people go for economic reasons. Like I moved for economic reasons because I perceived a greener pasture here in New Zealand, and yeah, it certainly turned out to be a greener pasture for us, but. I think going forward, just as somebody who's involved in the migration industry, I do believe that we will end up with the migrant community, which is also doing it for climate reasons. And even from that perspective, I think New Zealand is well located in the part of the world, and I think we will, being closer to the the polar regions towards Antarctica and stuff. Hopefully we will continue to remain a bit cooler as the rest of the world keeps warming up. So yeah, fingers crossed, guys. But we do live in interesting times, and we don't know how things are going to play out. So that's the way it is. What else has been happening? So yeah, like I told you, I was in Auckland yesterday with. I'm just going to fill up some time while we are waiting for some questions to come in. I can see that so quite a few people have joined in, but I'm going to wait for my some questions to pop in. So I'm just going to cover the time in this rather longish introduction. So yeah, my colleague Mary and I, we went to Auckland yesterday, which is about an hour and a half in that direction. It's north of Hamilton, where I'm sitting. So we actually went for some other work. We went to meet a person, the owner of a software development company here in Auckland, and so we went because we wanted to get some software project underway and things like that. But during the course of our discussion, she said that she was looking for some developers and some graphic designers and stuff like that, and we immediately said, "Hey, look, we don't have to look any further, just talk to us at AGV because we are helping this brilliant bunch of young professionals from all walks of life, whether it is IT or engineering or business or accounting or graphic design or filmmaking or what have you. I think we are actually getting this whole bunch of fantastic professionals into New Zealand, and we have this beautiful database, and in most instances, a lot of these youngsters who come to New Zealand through AJB are also, experienced, and they have come to New Zealand using study as a pathway to be able to, get the post-study work visa and go on to get their, future work and become very productive workers and residents and citizens of New Zealand. So we put forward this proposal to her saying, why don't you make AGV your recruitment partner for all your staff needs? And she said she would love to do it for us. And yeah, that's the way that immediately we came back and, we have a group on Facebook called AJV Clients Only, which is a very exclusive club. And we keep it very exclusive only for AJV clients. And it's a beautiful community, beautiful networking of people. And I posted it today saying, hey guys, you know what, there is an opportunity in a software development company in Auckland, and also for graphic designers. So immediately we posted it, and a lot of our students said, "Oh, that's very good news." And I also received the first CV as well, which we will forward to this company. And obviously, going with an AGV recommendation, I'm sure that particular CV or CVs that we receive will be looked at quite positively. Likewise, we've also tied up with another company in Auckland, which is a big sales and marketing organization. And interestingly, this is actually owned and operated by an ex-AJV client, and very, very proud of him. And he is now a very successful business owner here in New Zealand, and his company has got branches all across New Zealand. And he also is a very dear friend. And he said, "Hey, Arun, anytime you guys have some good CVs, send them across to us, and we will definitely consider my fellow AJV students," which was great to hear, which was brilliant. And then, of course, that gave us the momentum to start looking at more companies to, join our as partners to whom we will recruit our students. So that is one of the massive, big advantage that you guys are going to get if you're planning to come to New Zealand and you choose to work with a company like AJV. And because not only are we people we are a company with a lot of licensed immigration advisors, and that's my license, showing it to all you beautiful people on Facebook, YouTube, and on Instagram. So yeah, that's my license. And like myself, there are four other licensed advisors in the company already, and I think this year we're going to add at least another four or five other licensed advisors. So we are trying to do everything that is required for the successful journey of a student or a migrant who comes from other countries into New Zealand. Admittedly, a lot of our clients at this stage are from India, being one of the largest markets. So we, as migrants ourselves who came to New Zealand and understand the challenges, we are trying to set up that entire help at each stage of the journey for those migrants and clients. And yeah, it's working very well. We are happy. I go to sleep as the guy who started this company with a smile on my face and with absolutely no issues in my heart. I know we are doing the best for everybody who touches our life. So it's going really well, guys. So yeah, I mean, like I said, you have to be smart enough to choose the right company to help you to move to New Zealand. And if you do exhibit that smartness, you will choose to work with AJB. All right, big long introduction, and I hopefully by now there are some questions there. Yeah, I can see some have come in. But the other interesting thing, I'm going to share a slightly funny story. But the exciting thing in Hamilton that's been happening recently is that the Indian cricket team is on tour to New Zealand, as I'm sure a lot of you are following. And checking out the matches. Of course, it was not very good as a Kiwi to see a whitewash of 5-0, but like I said, I'm a guy from India and now I live in New Zealand with a New Zealand passport, so loyalties do get divided. So I know we can either we can celebrate and mourn at the same time, which is a very interesting situation for people like myself. But so where the AJV office in Hamilton is, it's on a street called Victoria Street, and this is right next to the hotel where the Indian team stays. And the AJV crew that sits in that office has been spotting the Indian players walking up and down our street, and we also have put up a little board on our on one of our glass windows, so with Virat Kohli's photo on it. And apparently, a couple of days or yesterday, I think, apparently Virat was walking by with some other team member, and he actually stopped and looked at that. Poster, and looked at it to see what was that poster all about, because his face was there on that poster. And one of my colleagues, Anjana, who is actually also an AJV student, but she's already working for us doing part-time work right now, and we hope to induct her full-time once she completes a course from the University of Waikato. She spotted Virat looking at the poster, and apparently she approached him and said, "Hey, Virat," and all those kinds of things. And she said, "Do you want to step into the office for a bit?" And apparently Virat said, "No, I can't because I'm busy," or whatever. I guess they don't like to be hounded. So anyway, he walked away. And today again, apparently Anjana was standing outside the office, and Virat was going by. And guess what Anjana does? She apparently turns her head away this time, saying, "Oh, you ignored me yesterday, so I'm going to ignore you today." Talk about spunk. But anyhow, that's our my colleague and friend Anjana for you. So let's get on with this particular session. I'm going to quickly get rid of some of the sweat of my face, and we shall move on. Right, and there is something from a top fan called Jitin Prasad. He says, "Hello, sir. My name is Jitin. I'm an AJV client." Hi, Jitin. Fantastic. Lovely to always say hello to my AJV Fano, which means family. I'm in Auckland now. We'll be shifting to Hamilton in a day's time. Hoping to see you soon. Thank you so much for all the help and making my dreams come true. Hey, Jitin. So lovely to hear that. And thank you for that wonderful comment. Hey, look, we exist to be able to help people like you to move into New Zealand, and it's a mutually beneficial marriage. You benefit by being in New Zealand, and New Zealand benefits in attracting good talent like all of you into our country, because we have a shortage of skills here, and we are constantly trying to pick good, smart, young professionals from different parts of the world to come and be part of our community and our society here. So thank you, Jitin, and appreciate the fact that you chose to go with AJV, because, like I said, we are doing a lot of things for our clients. Today, like I said, since yesterday, I'm now particularly focused on trying to create a good, strong employment opportunity division as well inside the team. So yeah, warm welcome to Hamilton, and our offices on Victoria Street, Jitin, and there'll be Mary, Virginia, Nicholas, Anjana, myself. Everybody is there. So drop by, have a cup of coffee. There is an exclusive AJV student zone that we have created, so you can walk in. It's your office. You can walk in anytime you feel like. Come, have a cup of coffee, have a chat, sit around, have a banter with us, and if you have any doubts or queries, don't hesitate to discuss with the AJ team. But very, very warm welcome to New Zealand and to Hamilton, Jitin. And I'm very glad we could play a role in your journey to come to New Zealand. All right? Cool. All right. Ankit Wagela, our another dear AJV student and client who is in Wellington, says it's been windy in Wellington, which is, hey, Ankit, Wellington is called windy Wellington, and I guess for a reason. Wellington's got a very interesting topography. It's got this little bay or like an inlet. And because of that, I think the sea breezes almost enter it like a funnel, and which is why there is always constantly a lot of breeze that goes through Wellington, and no wonder it is called windy Wellington. But yeah, I'm glad to hear that some wind is blowing today in Hamilton. Absolutely no breeze at all, Ankit, and it's like literally very hot where I'm sitting right now. And like I said, not only one, then I have this light on my face, but yeah, well, I hope you're enjoying the winds in Wellington. Hopefully, we'll get some cool breezes here in Hamilton as well. Okay, next, Roshan Nair. Okay, I might as well take a sip of water. Roshan Nair asks, sir, any option for doctors, MDS? Hey, Roshan, happy to answer your question, but we have a rule here in this live telecast that if you are an AGV client, please mention that you're an AGV client. If you're not an AGV client, then we request you that you give us your contact number so that after this live session is over, we can get in touch with you and give you more details, because in this live session there's only so much I can provide as information. So Roshan, if you could kindly share your contact number while this live session is happening or immediately after that, one of our advisors will get in touch with you and speak to you about different opportunities that are available for doctors and other health professionals. We absolutely have opportunities for doctors. In fact, I think there are quite a lot of doctors, medical related positions on our long-term skill shortage list. So yeah, absolutely, there would be options, Roshan. So if you can share your number, I could elaborate on my answer and also have one of my colleagues get in touch with you during this session or immediately after the session is over. And then you can take the information and decide whether it is a good opportunity for you to come to New Zealand or not. But I can tell you that absolutely we have a pretty big requirement for medical professionals here in New Zealand. So it is a good idea for you to consider seriously. So please share your number. Thank you. Okay. Hi, Arun. How are you? Next one is from Nirosh, and he says, "Hi, Arun. How are you? I messaged on FB for your number, but you did not." Anyway, I got my visa approved today. Wanted to say thank you as my gratitude to you as you were the first one I met across from AJV. From your live session, I found about AJV, and I want to thank Grace Ruben and Hayden Roche. My apologies that you did not find my. I mean, like I said, I was out the whole of yesterday, and I got back pretty late to Hamilton, and then I had to uh, you know, uh, finish some pending work. But you know what? Before I go any further, first and foremost, many congratulations that you got your visa, Nirosh. And yeah, fantastic. Such a lovely piece of news to share today. And but by the way, my number is there on the website. I saw it's there. I think my number is there on the AJV website as well as my email address. But like I said, I was away for most of the day in Roche, and I haven't been able to check my FB messages. But many, many congratulations. Thank you for your kind words about the live sessions and the fact that you met us through the live session and you got your visa and you got to Pearson. Thank you also for your kind words about Grace, Ruben, and Anne, three fantastic colleagues of mine who work to ensure all you young people are able to successfully move to New Zealand. And isn't it amazing that you met me through one of these live sessions, and I thank you for the confidence you placed in a company that you only met through online means like these live sessions or Facebook or YouTube or wherever. And I truly appreciate all of you. And that is also indicative of strength in individuals like yourself who can watch a video or watch a live session or read a post online and say, yeah, there is integrity in what these people are saying, or this company is the company that's going to help me. And you take that leap of faith, and it's a big leap of faith because going overseas is not an easy task. It is quite a difficult task, and you need the right advisors, and it is a very life-changing moment for a lot of people. And for you guys and girls to be able to take a decision based on a live session like this, either by myself or some of my other colleagues, or following the work we're doing through our Facebook page or group, and then coming forward and becoming a clients, and our wonderful AJV team taking care of your process and making it happen is very, very uplifting and very heartwarming as a as an experience, as a business owner, and as somebody who lives in this modern technology world, to see that our technology is working. So right now I'm speaking to what, about 40, 50 people who are watching this live broadcast right now, and all I'm doing is sitting in this my office here in Hamilton, and but it is almost like I'm there in front of you guys, and I'm looking straight into the camera, which means it's like I'm looking into your eyes. So we are actually having a good, straightforward conversation. And people like Nirosh and all our other clients who have placed their faith in us, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart and of the collective heart of my team. We will stand by you. We will continue to provide you exactly the same level of service that you already received. And I promise you that you will get that continuous support throughout your journey in New Zealand. And besides Nirosh, there have been a lot of our wonderful clients who have been coming back to us with their comments. We don't ask them for these comments. We don't aggressively push them saying, "Oh, give me a testimonial." Nothing. Nirosh wrote because he felt like writing, and so yeah. Thank you to Nirosh and everybody else who is. Giving us your feedback, because your feedback means a lot to us, and we don't mind if the feedback is adverse, because it's not always that positives that we're looking for. Sometimes the negatives are also very important to help us improve our processes and to serve everybody better. So yeah, fantastic. Niroj, many congratulations, and I hope to see you here in New Zealand soon. You'll be yet another one of our wonderful Sri Lankan clients who is going to be in New Zealand through AJV, and I look forward to meeting you here very soon. All right, thanks, buddy. Whew. Okay. Osai Owusu says, I'm from Ghana. Hello, lovely to speak to somebody from Ghana. And I would like to apply for PhD. Can you assist me to get admission? Absolutely, Osai. I mean, we would be certainly be able to help, because, as you know, that we help people with every level of study, and we are keenly, as a country, also trying to attract PhD researchers into our country, because New Zealand wants to grow as a soft power knowledge economy, and yeah, we would absolutely love to. And there is a video on my YouTube channel. Go to YouTube and search for Arun Jacob, and you should be able to see this face. And there is a video I've put up there which talks exclusively about all the advantages you will have of doing a PhD here in New Zealand, especially if you're married and you have a spouse and children. There are some very distinct advantages of doing a PhD. But please share your number, Osai, and we would be delighted to work with you. We actually have some colleagues working in your time zone as well, and I think we should be able to take it forward. So please share your number, not just Osai, but also to anybody else who's not sharing your numbers. Guys, we need your number, because otherwise you just remain a faceless entity, and we would love to get your number, so that either during the session or later the AJV team can get in touch with you and initiate your process. All right, cool. Comment from Sunanda Basu. He says, "Hello, Arun. This is Sunando. We are AJV clients." Of course, I remember Sunando. I also met your spouse, Payal, when I was in Auckland yesterday, which was fantastic. Really great surprise. Okay, so firstly, my daughter got very excited to the selfie Payal took with you. Oh, wow, that's very cool. Yeah, thanks, Payal. I mean, it was a great one-lance job with an accredited employer. What are the additional benefits, if any? Thanks. Hey, Sunanda, it's a very valid question, and I think it's a very important question as well, because it has happened a lot of times with us, with our clients here in New Zealand, that sometimes the wife has come to study, or the husband has come to study, and the accompanying partner has actually found a really, really good job. So what that means, Nando, is that if you find a job with an accredited employer, and if the salary matches the current requirement, potentially you could go on and apply for your resident visa right away. And this has happened in many instances to a lot of AJV clients, by the way. So what has happened is that in your case, for instance, Piles come to do our course, and you are here, and you, of course, are also qualified, competent professional in your own right. And so now that you're in New Zealand and you have a work visa as the partner of student. So what you can do is you can go start looking for work, and if somebody gives you a good job, whether it is an accredited employer or not an accredited employer, does not matter. As long as you got a good job and you're crossing the threshold of the salary that is required, which I think is around $52,000 at this point. And if it's an accredited employer, it's a little higher. But what you can do is check with us immediately. If you crack a job, give us a call on okay, that's on 0800. So that's the toll free number we have set up in New Zealand. Call 0800 696977. I'll show it to our viewers on Instagram as well. There you go. So give us a call immediately, Sunanda, if you crack a job, because it's happened many times that sometimes the wife started the course and within the first month, the husband got a job and the job was so good and at such a good level that we could immediately initiate the resident visa. So congratulations that you guys are already speaking so positively about your presence here in New Zealand, which is so great for us to hear. And the other good thing is that we will constantly and continuously keep talking to you, Sunanda. So pick up the phone, call the office. There will be Mary or Virginia or myself or one of us will absolutely talk to you. And if you're getting an offer, even if once you get the offer, send it across to us. We will take a look to see that it is matching the entire policy. And if there are any changes to be made, before you sign it, send it to us. If any changes are supposed to be made, we will recommend it, those changes to you, which we did recently to another one of our clients as well. And so that's the support you guys are going to get from AJV and free of cost, Sunanda, till such a time, of course, we are doing your resident visa application. But all the advice we provide to our AJV clients is absolutely free of cost. Plus, you'll get a free coffee if you walk into the office as well. So many congratulations. And like I said, it was lovely to meet Payal, and I'm looking forward to meeting you and your daughter as well. And please tell your daughter I'll take a selfie with her as well. Okay, cool. Nirosh has asked me another question saying, I have got the condition to transfer money to NZ account. So can you generally explain the process from now on till I get in touch with my visa officer? Happy day today as I got the visa approval. Of course, it will be a happy day, Nirosh. Who will not be happy on the day you got your visa approved? So fantastic. Well done. So the process, what you're mentioning is the condition attached to your visa, it's called FTS, which is Funds Transfer Scheme, where Immigration New Zealand has set up the scheme with ANZ Bank in New Zealand, this is to prevent students from landing in New Zealand and not having to struggle for their living expenses. So it's a beautiful scheme. In fact, yesterday when I was in Auckland, Mary and I, we also went and met the senior officer who is taking care of the FTS accounts for everybody from the English-speaking countries or even from South Asia like India, Sri Lanka, and we had a really, really good discussion with her as well. So what will happen now is I will not get into the details, Nirosh. Talk to your case officer or your visa officer inside AJB, and they will give you a checklist. In fact, today we received a nice big checklist as well from ANZ. And all you've got to do is collect those documents and give it forward. In fact, if some of our future clients are watching this live broadcast right now, going forward, what AJB is going to do is we are actually going to ask you to collect these documents from the checklist for FTS account for two reasons. One, if the visa officer or the INZ officer comes back and says, "Hey, look, we will grant you a visa, but you need to do an FTS transfer," then you will be ready with those documents. Even if, let's say, you are not asked to open an FTS account, and let's say you are landing in New Zealand, you will still require those documents to open an account in New Zealand anyway. So you might get ready with that. And having a bank account in New Zealand is going to be very critical, whether it is through FTS or without FTS. The other interesting thing which we discussed with this ANZ officer yesterday is that if you collect all those documents and keep it ready, we, with the help of ANZ, will actually get your account opened even before you come to New Zealand, and you can transfer all your money and funds into New Zealand safely through the banking channel, which means you don't have to carry big loads of cash with you when you're coming to New Zealand. And sometimes, unfortunately, people do not declare this cash when they're bringing into New Zealand, and they will end up with a fine from the customs department because you've got to declare any amount that is about $10,000. So yeah, so don't stress too much, Nirosh. Just stay in touch with. I think you mentioned you were in touch with Anne and Grace and Ruben. So get back to whoever is your last contact inside AJV, and that officer will take care of for your FTS transfer. But woohoo! I'm happy as well, Nirosh. Another successful student of AJV coming to New Zealand is a happy day for me as well. Fantastic. Shobi Armugam asks me, can we have diploma course below 4 lakhs? Don't know, Shobi. Possibly there might be. Now I think that's way too low. I mean, you got to understand that. But yeah, you know what? Share your number, and you haven't shared your number, nor have you mentioned that you are an AGV client or not. But I think 4 lakhs roughly equates to about $8,000. Nah, that's way too cheap. I mean, hey, look, we guys in New Zealand need to make some money from our international students. So please don't look only for these cheap courses, okay? I'm being very honest. I call myself the friendly and frank licensed immigration advisor, right? Why do we have an international education, industry in New Zealand? We want to earn money, and you guys are coming to one of the most beautiful countries on earth and one of the most peaceful destinations, one of the coolest destinations. I mean, maybe not in weather today, but very safe, secure, beautiful, help-friendly people, and good post-study work visa opportunities, lots of skill shortages, and so on and so forth. So, of course, you guys will need to pay a premium to us in New Zealand. But jokes apart, don't always go by the cost of the course, because as I keep there's an old saying which says if you pay peanuts, you will get monkeys. So that's what is probably going to happen to you as well. If you're going to look for a course that is really really cheap, then you might end up going to a college with monkeys in terms of people who are not looking at quality and that sort of thing, or good outcomes. So be careful. Share your number, and we'll put some good opportunities in front of you. And we might even suggest ways you can fund your course, because if you go into a good college and a good course, then of course your future career outcomes would also be so much more better. So I'd strongly recommend that you look at don't look at only the quality, because you know what, when you buy something, I'm trying to see if there's anything of low quality in my. Okay, so that's one of my wood carving things that I sometimes when I'm bored I sit and do some wood carving. So, but this was a very cheap implement that I bought, and I bet I can break it very easily if I want to. We have these things here in New Zealand called $2 stores where you can go and buy a very cheap stuff. But being cheap stuff, they will probably not last half the carving. So yeah, anyhow. So share your number, Shobi. We would love to talk to you and give you some good advice, including about financing, how we can finance your course, which means you don't have to go after a cheap course. All right, cool. Hardik Tank asks, Tank, I don't know how it's pronounced, but hello, sir. Recently, I got unconditional offer letter from Wintech. Is it good? Hardik, I hope you got your offer through AJV. Hopefully, you haven't mentioned that. Actually, hang on, guys. I'm as part of my session. I'm supposed to keep checking back to my wonderful team to see if they've given me any feedback. Nothing at this stage. There is. Hey Tim, can you confirm if Hardik Tank is one of our clients? Okay, there is a query from Sumant. Okay, which I shall answer very shortly, but I'm quickly checking to see if Hardik is one of our. Hardik, can you please confirm if you are an AGV client or not? But I'll answer your question anyway. Wintech is a fantastic institution. It is owned and operated by the government of New Zealand. It's called the Institute of Technology or Polytechnic or ITP as it's called. Definitely a very good institution. I personally have a lot of regard, and a lot of our students who have gone to Wintech have done really well. In fact, in today's live session, and I hope you're still watching, the first guy who joined was a person called Prakash. If you scroll back, I can see that Prakash was the first one who joined my live session, and Prakash is one of our dear AJV students, and he went to Wintech as well. And he is such a, I mean, besides what he learned in Wintech, Prakash also came in with his own experience, and he's got a great attitude, because of which we gave him a full-time job offer soon after he completed his course from Wintech, and then later, of course, he found a better opportunity and has moved on from working for us. But yeah, absolutely, like Prakash, there are a lot of our other Wintech graduates who are doing really, really well, and so yeah, strongly recommend Wintech. I'm just concerned that you might be coming to Wintech without coming through HAV, because WinTech, while in itself is good, if you combine it with the support that HAV can provide here in New Zealand, man, you'll absolutely cruise through your time in New Zealand, and also end up with the where you want to get, whether it is a good job and for the work visa or a resident visa or whatever. I'm quite confident. All right, Hardik, so please make sure that you are coming to New Zealand through a JV. Wintech is a good college. Okay. Right. Okay. So Aniket seems to have confirmed. Aniket, my colleague, seems to have confirmed that Hardik is working with us. So yeah, but that you're having some issues about IELTS. I hope it's he's referring to you, because Aniket has not mentioned about whom he has written that particular query. Okay, moving on. Okay, okay. Question is from Sumant, and he shared this number from he's from Bangalore, India. Thank you, Sumant. Appreciate you sharing your number, which is what we need, so that we can engage you in the further conversation after this live session is over. And you are saying, I want to get admission for graduate diploma in Wintech for June intake in 2020. I have valid IELTS. My age is 44 plus. Date of birth is 18 November 75. Please let me know following. How many years of stay back option I have on post-study work visa? What are the chances of PR? Please feel free to contact me. Okay, I think Sumant, you are already in touch with Aniket, who is the HAV advisor, who I think has been speaking to you. And it says you already have a postgraduate in IT offer from Wintech, but since you're not able to kind of clear your IELTS, you are now looking at the graduate diploma. Okay, so which is good. I mean, I think if you're not able to clear your IELTS and you're kind of stepping down and coming to a graduate diploma, no problem with that. So the good thing is, because you're coming to study in Wintech, which is in Hamilton, which is outside Auckland, of course, you will get a 2 years post-study work visa, Sumant. And seeing that you're also an experienced person, 44 years, I'm sure you're quite well experienced, and so you're coming in with a lot of experience, and you are coming to a good institution like Wintech, and you are going to get a 2 years post-study work visa, which I believe is enough time for you to crack a job. And we will of course also network you with some of our other previous clients who have completed their courses in information technology. And I started the session by saying that we are also tying up with various companies to refer our students and our graduates, our AGV students and graduates, to for positions in these various companies. I think you will do very well. Sumant, whether it is a PG diploma or graduate diploma, the only difference is that for PG diploma, of course, you're studying at a slightly higher level, but a graduate diploma is equally good. In fact, the same name I go back to again, Prakash, also came to do a graduate diploma in information technology, and I think it's good enough, because all the GD is going to do is complement your previous experience and the skills that you already have. And 2 years is a long enough time. You should be able to, plus you will have AJV to support you as well. So chances of PR, I think, will be pretty bright, because like I told you, there will be people willing to hire you, and there are enough number of opportunities in IT. All right, Samant. So continue to speak to Aniket, and we will take it forward from there. Okay, Jay Krishna says hi. Hi, Jay Krishna, and I love this name, Humble Strings. Hello, Humble Strings. Hello, Arun. Good day. Same to you, Humble Strings. Fantastic name. Love the name. Right, quickly checking to see if I missed any questions. Okay, so here's a question from somebody called Srikant Krishnamurti, who actually asked this question on YouTube, and my colleague Mubarka has pasted it to me. I like the way my team members push me to answer their client queries. So fantastic, guys. Get competitive. That's the way I like it. Okay, so the question from Srikant Krishnamurti is, hey, Arun, I applied for SIT, which is Southern Institute of Technology, through AJV for Masters in IT. Can you share your inputs on studying Masters in ITP? I observed that government is planning to merge all ITPs into a single governance, if I'm not wrong. Okay, so here's the story, Srikant. Absolutely, you're right. Good research, and you realize that government is kind of planning to bring all the ITPs under one umbrella, which I personally feel is a good idea, because it creates that single good structure for institutions which essentially are all doing the same kind of work. And I'm personally in favor of this consolidation, and I think it will work well. One of my local friends here in New Zealand is a member of parliament, and he and we have certain discussions around things that pertain to our industry, which is education and migration. And he was also talking about how the current Labour government is coming out with quite a few aggressive moves to streamline our international education as well as our domestic education. So I think overall the move to consolidate is very good, and I think it will benefit all the students, whether it is international or domestic, who are planning to come to New Zealand to you know uh, get better structured way of delivering of the course. So I think it was definitely going to be positive. And whether you should study at an ITP to do a master's, absolutely, absolutely, no doubt about it, because all ITPs work at a very, very good quality of delivery. As I told you, all ITPs are owned and operated by the government of New Zealand, and you're coming for a master, so I'm sure you will do well. And going to Invercargill SIT means that your cost of living will be lesser than being in a more expensive city like Auckland or Wellington or Christchurch. So, and once you complete your course, you will end up with a 3-year post-study work visa, and you could potentially look for opportunities anywhere across New Zealand. And of course, AGB will help you to in your job search as well. So I think no problems whatsoever. Yeah, go for SIT and do your masters, and you'll do well. And if you come to SIT, you'll give me an opportunity to visit Invercargill again. I quite love that city. I love the architecture of the buildings there. Go on to YouTube and check out one of my videos on Invercargill. I love that city for the architecture it has. All right. Not to mention that it is our southernmost city as well. So there is something quite unique about Invercargill. Yeah. Huh. The temperature settled down a little bit, guys. Yeah, I had to open the windows and yeah. Right. There's another question from Jonathan Andrews, who is also an AJB client, and he asks, "Hello, Arun. What do I do after I finish my 2-year post-study work visa in New Zealand?" Right. So in those 2 years, Jonathan, what you've got to do is that you will, in those 2 years, you will have to obviously find a job that is relevant to the course that you have completed in New Zealand. And once you get that job, you can apply it for further essential skills work visa, which I think again they're planning to merge and make it into one standard work visa. And I think they're trying to get rid of all these different definitions for work visas. So I think that's what is going to happen. So in those 2 years, which is again a long enough time, 365 into 2 is a lot of days. And if you are persistent and patient and you work with the AJV team, I'm certain you will crack. Only yesterday, I was talking to Mary, my senior colleague, and I was telling her that how blessed we are, how lucky we are that all our students, most of our clients are finding good opportunities and moving on into further visas. And some of them are cracking the right jobs and getting into resident visa as well. So that should be your target, and that should be a goal, Jonathan, is to, in those 2 years, work hard, be persistent, be patient, work with the AJV team, and get yourself, and we will help you to network and provide references and all those kinds of things, and possibly even job opportunities from our network of people that we know. And yeah, get a job. I'm confident you will crack it, so don't stress too much about it. And you are coming for construction management or engineering technology, which is fantastic because we have a shortage of people in engineering and construction. So I'm absolutely certain you will crack a good job and get further visas and go on to become a very productive worker, resident, and citizen of New Zealand. All right, cool. All right, Shashank Bharti, again a query from my colleague Neha, and she's also pushed her client's question to make sure that I will not miss out on answering that. And Shashank's question is, "Hey Arun, I'm AJVN student, fabulous, mate. I like your little symbol as well, which you put there. Yep, that's what all AJVNs must do from now onwards. That's a new term that our team has coined. That all students and colleagues and people who work with AJV are going to be called AJVNs, which sounds fantastic. And just it pronounces like AJVN, avian meaning bird, so which means we will all fly to our dreams. Okay, cool. That's my own twist on it. So it says, "Hey Aaron, I'm AGVN student. Is opening FTS account compulsory? In what cases students are not required to transfer the living expenses in this FTS account? When do we have to open this account?" Okay, so Shashank, the FTS account decision is not made by AGV. It is made by Immigration New Zealand. So whoever is the visa officer who's assessing your application might decide that. It is better that you transfer all your living expenses into the FTS account in New Zealand. We don't know what are the parameters on which they normally do that, but I think they tend to do it in cases where they or applications where the suspect that a student may struggle to have access to living expenses. So it is a very judgmental call taken by the individual immigration officer. So it's not in every case. I think only about 30 or 40% of students are actually asked to open an FTS account. So as and when if your visa comes approval comes with a condition saying that you need to set up an FTS account and transfer the funds, just refer back to your AJB advisor, which in your case is Neha, or by the time you'll be working with one of our visa officers, and we will guide you through it with each and every step of how to do it. Don't worry, guys. Once you choose to work with AJV, you will have what I call a guided tour. So you're not on your own. You will. It's like going on a guided tour or a guided cruise, and we will be there at each step to make sure that you guys are getting all the right information at the right time. Okay. Cool. Moving on. Okay, where was I? I've moved back to Facebook. I was on Skype all this while, but I hope I was looking at the camera. Okay, okay. I have answered Srikant. Jyotimal has asked me a question about veterinary. Scope will be good, Jyotimal. So please share your number, and we would love to work with you and put you into the right college. Veterinary is good. New Zealand is crazy about pets. We just got our first pet at home, by the way. So we have a little cat now at home. So yeah. So anyhow, yeah, scope will be very good. So strongly encourage you to get in touch with us. Share your number. Humble Strings has come back and said, Arun, please, is it possible for me to transfer study to New Zealand? Don't know from where to where. Humble Strings, nor have you shared your number. So if you could kindly share your number, we would love to get back in touch with you and understand from where you want to transfer and why. And based on the possibilities, we will certainly help you and assist you with that. Okay. Jonathan, what else? Shashank, I have already answered. Dinesh Tomar has shared this number, so I'm going to answer that. Dinesh is in a quick assessment. We have 215 points, and both have master's degree. We are based in South Africa and have no job offer from New Zealand. We are keen on immigrating to New Zealand. Hey, Dinesh, getting 215 points is pretty cool, Mike, because it's a very good point thing. But you know what? Sometimes when you do the self-assessment, you tend to kind of add things because that calculator that's there on the immigration website, yeah, I mean, sure, it does the basic job of calculating and giving you back certain information, but sometimes it can be misleading as well. And a lot of people, you guys don't realize that there are lots of layers to immigration law in New Zealand, and which is the reason you need somebody with that. It is you need somebody with a license. to be able to assess and see whether the points that you're claiming are true or not. Because you've shared your number, Dinesh, what we will do is we'll get in touch with you. But could I also ask you, Dinesh, to send both your CVs to that email address, please, to immigrationadvisor@ajvglobal.com, and we will have one of our licensed advisors to get in touch with you, and we will do an assessment one more time, and this time getting into the nitty gritties of it, and not just that very generic assessment that happens on the website. All right, Dinesh. But hey, look, if you're getting 215 points, you may not get the direct resident visa in New Zealand because you don't have a job offer. But potentially, you could be eligible for something called a job search visa, which will lead to a resident visa. So yeah, we'd be delighted to help you, Dinesh. And so please email your both your CVs to immigration advisor at ajvglobal.com. Okay, cool. Right, Sri Priya Sridharan has asked me a question. No, no number, so I will not be able to answer that, Sri Priya. Nor has she mentioned that she is one of our clients. So I will have to move forward, Sri Priya. But if you please share your number so that we can help you with that. I'm also in the last 10 minutes of this live session, guys. So I'm going to get a little selfish and focus on my AGB clients or people who share your number. So that's the deal, guys. It's very simple. I give, you got to give back. I sit here and give my free information and free advice in my friendly, frank way. And all I want is your number so that we guys can talk to you. And as I keep saying in most of my sessions, we are not leeches. We will not get stuck into you and say, oh, you gave me your number, so now we're going to suck the blood out of you and send you to New Zealand whether you like it or not, because it's not as simple as that. It's a very long drawn out process, and you require money, time, effort, emotion, skills. Tons of things are required, and sometimes it all doesn't add up. We understand that, but hey, look, at least we share your number, we can give all the right information, and then you can decide based on good information whether it is for you or not. Okay, cool. So Anjana, Jacob, all right. There's another Jacob here. Anjana, do your friends also call you AJ? Because I'm popularly called AJ because I'm Arun Jacob. So yeah, my team all calls me AJ. So how long will it will take to get New Zealand visitor visa? Depends. Again, you haven't shared your number, but it could take anything. Depends on what kind of documents you're putting forward. So I would recommend Anjana, you call this number in India, 1-800. I'm assuming you're in India. 1-800 That is our toll free number. Get in touch. We have one, two licensed immigration advisors now in India. So you can actually speak to a licensed immigration advisor, and both those licensed immigration advisors are also ex-immigration officers of New Zealand who worked with Immigration New Zealand and India. So it's like a double whammy for you. You will not only speak to a licensed immigration advisor, but also an ex-immigration officer, which means you're going to get possibly the best advice you can get about your case. All right. Cool. Ali Asgar Shahu says, I have done BSc in physics, so which program is good? There'll be plenty of options for you, Ali, but you have not shared your number. So please share your number, and one of our advisors will get in touch with you and will put in some of the best options because, hey, look, physics is a fantastic subject, and we'd like people, with good technical skills to come to New Zealand, as long as you do not end up using the science and physics for adverse purposes, as they say. So yeah, that's cool. Okay, there's another one here. It says, Deepak Dumre, hi, how long it will take time for work permit for New Zealand? Depends, Deepak. I don't know what kind of work permit you're talking about because again, frankly, we don't no longer use the word permit. We only use the word visa. So if you're looking for a work visa, depends on what kind of work visa you're looking for. Is it a post-study work visa, or is it a work visa called an essential skills work visa? I don't know what it is. So you'll have to share your number, my friend, and leave your contact details. In the meantime, Right. And Dinesh, I got some feedback from my colleague Radhika that you have already sent your CVs and that they're asking you to give a job description as well because apparently the CV was not very clear. So, yeah, go ahead and share your job description as well. All right. So, my colleague Ruben has shared something, and I think it's a bit of a pat on the back for Team HFE, but I'm going to read it out. It's from Hiren D. Jariwala, and Hiren writes feedback. Hello, sir. I'm Hiren Jariwala. I received AIP on second attempt. Fantastic. Many congratulations, Hiren. Second time lucky. Thanks to Tulika ma'am and Sonia ma'am, I just transferred my funds to FTS account. Now we'll wait for visa. Your neighboring institute starting from 10th February. NZI. Oh, fantastic. You're coming to NZIHT. Brilliant. It is right next to our office here. And so you drop in for a coffee whenever you want. I would like to thank Mariam, Ruben, Ambali, Sonia, Tulika, and whole AJB team for supporting me. Now it's time to take advantages of onshore team of AJB Hamilton. Before beware, I'm coming. Just kidding. Thank you for journey today, but it's not an absolutely here, and I think it's possibly one of the best comments to maybe end today's session on because that's what it's all about. It's about fighting for you when we believe in you. And your visa officers and immigration officers are also human beings, and sometimes they might may not make the right judgment or the right call on a particular application, but we are as committed and as dedicated as the immigration officers of New Zealand. And in fact, in our team we have 7 or 8 ex-immigration officers, and my directive to my entire team is that we must act and behave like immigration officers of New Zealand because we need to protect not only our clients' interests, but we also need to protect the interests of New Zealand. And so we are not in this business or in this game to let every Tom, Dick, and Harry into New Zealand because, hey, look, this is the country where I live now. I proudly carry my New Zealand passport. This is where my kids are growing up. And so we want to enhance the beauty and the success of New Zealand by attracting and bringing in the best talent from different parts of the world, either directly as migrants or through study. And which is why Hiren and everybody else, once we believe in you, we will fight for you. And only when we believe in your ability and who you are and your backgrounds and your ability also to succeed in New Zealand and want to become a constructive and productive worker, or resident, or citizen is when we take up your case because we are not the kind of people who put in 150 applications and hope 50 will come in. We do not work like that. Once we accept an application, we are very committed to ensuring that the visa comes through. Which is why, Hiren, I'm so glad that we you agreed for, because losing a visa decline can be very devastating. But you said no, I'm going to believe in AJB and believe in yourself. And you came back to us and gave us a second opportunity. And for that, I'm very thankful. And I'm also glad you're coming to NZIHT. It's right next door to our office. So please come, spend time. No need of warning us. Just drop in, buddy, whenever you want. And but you know what? Absolutely, we love to hang out with you guys. And especially for a middle-aged guy like me, it makes me feel young when I hang out again when I hang out with all you youngsters. So absolutely not the end. And I'm so thankful that you had such a lovely journey with us so far. Definitely not the end. Your journey will continue with us. And I promise you, you're going to have the best time here in New Zealand, knowing that there is always somebody in AJB you can fall back upon. So, and I'm not talking just to Hiren, but everybody else who's following this live session at this moment. That's the AJB commitment to all of you. Is that we understand that it is going to be a difficult journey. We understand there'll be ups and downs, and we will travel the journey with you through every up and down. All right. So that is the AJB promise from the guy who started the company. All right. And my wonderful, beautiful team has upheld this uh, tradition so well. I'm so proud of them. And today I was sharing with them some marketing feedback where Google gives us statistics about how people are finding our website, and it was so heartening to see that people are not searching for my name, they're searching for AJV Global or AJV Services or AJV New Zealand, and which is fantastic, which means we are growing as a brand, and thanks to all of you who support our work as well. So big thank you to Hiren and all the rest of our clients, and we will always receive you and welcome you with a big massive smile on our face. Okay, guys. Cool. Right. In the meantime, some more questions came through. Looks like people don't want to let me go away today. Where? How am I doing on time? 11:30. Yeah, I've forgotten mine. Oh, there we are. That was my usual way of ending my sessions, to ring the bell and say, "Time's up." And did you guys see what it says on that? It says, "Oops, okay, ring for a drink." So that's probably what I'm going to do after this hour-long live session. Hot, light, and room, and I need a cold beer now. Okay. So some more queries here, and just going forward. Nisla, Safri, Banala, Samuel, could you guys all please? Okay, Nisla, Safri, I'm going to answer a couple of questions and then I'm going to shut down today's session. So Nisla says, my brother living in Dubai, he is working as manager, 13 years there. He would like to study business management. He's 34 years old. So what level he could come to study and how much course fee? And Nisla has shared this number, which is fantastic. Nisla, thank you for sharing your number. And we are having very, very good success out of our clients from Dubai, by the way, Nisla, and a lot of them. We were having fantastic visa success rate with our clients from Dubai. Uh, so if he has got 13 years of work experience and he is 34 years old, I think we should potentially look at a higher level course for him at a postgraduate level or at a master's level. And also depends on what his previous qualification was. But yeah, I mean, like I said, you've shared your number, so one of our team members will get in touch with you. But could you also ask your brother to forward his CV to immigration advisor at agvglobal.com, and we will study it. And being a case which is outside India, so the Hamilton team or the Malaysian licensed advisor will get in touch, and we will come back with the right. But I can potentially see that he could go for a postgraduate diploma or a master's. Okay, cool. Last question for today, Prabjot Singh. Unless my team has given me, no, they're just saying time is up. Okay, cool. Prabjot saying last question and says, hi, I got 6 months study extension due to one subject supply. Is it bad to get work permit after study? I mean, technically, Prabjot, there is no real problem as long as you complete the course, and that's what it says. Of course, there is always a bit of an issue when you don't complete your course in one attempt, but if there were legitimate reasons for you for failing your course or your subject and you had needed extra time, you did it, but technically there is no problem per se, as long as, because the law says that, as long the law doesn't say that you have to pass your course in one attempt. The law says that you need to have completed a particular course in a particular location at a particular level to be able to get your post study work visa. So I don't think you will actually have any trouble, but just so that you are certain, I would recommend you give us a call on our 0800 number. That's the number, 0800 I can see from your number that you're based here in New Zealand. So give us a call and we will give the best advice we can. All right, people, thank you very much as always for following my live sessions. Appreciate it. I enjoy sitting here and talking to all of you. It's a lot of hard work. It's very hot work in terms of the sweat that one can work up just talking for a whole hour. But anyhow, it's always a pleasure and a delight to sit here and talk to all of you. And I look forward to seeing you again next week. But this week, some more of my wonderful colleagues will be coming live and sharing information on how you can migrate to New Zealand, either directly or through the pathway of education, which, by the way, is working beautifully for singles and couples. And it has started raining in Hamilton as well. And I can hear the sound, so which is fantastic. So hopefully we're gonna have a slightly cooler night. All right, guys. I hope it doesn't rain so much that the one-day international match gets washed out tomorrow, because I'm planning to go there tomorrow with my kids and catch some cricketing action as well. So look out for me in the stadium. Forget me, but we have this big AJB board right next to the scoreboard in Hamilton Seton Park. So I hope some or all of you will notice that as well. Good night, guys, and thank you as always. Kakite ano, just see you later. Bye bye.